Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear brothers and my dear sisters. I hope you're in the best of health and iman. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to a Real Talks episode. This is the show where we bring you that real talk for mainly the brothers and sisters who are not practicing, who are far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and are looking to come back. We're bringing you some topics that you can relate to, and inshallah, through that relation, come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, if you haven't watched any of these episodes before, we have a whole playlist of shows on this channel, which you can go and watch after this one, inshallah ta'ala. And the best thing about this show, or one of the best things, is that it only lasts for 10 to 12 minutes. So you can just quickly watch it, quick, snappy, get into the point. So now, bro, today's show, we've got to start the timer before we go. Okay, today's show, bro, is about those sisters who kind of, they lure boys in.
They lure boys in.
Yeah, and they kind of get the boy's attention, and then they try to take the boy away from, the boy's trying to do some good, but they try and take him away from that sort of path, and, they're just trying to play games, literally. That's what I would call it. Like, some sisters literally play games with brothers, and then at the end come say, oh yeah, this brother did this and whatnot and other. So that's what we want to talk about today, inshallah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. I mean, look, akhi, I don't want the sisters to feel, and I know that you're not making this point, but I just want to clarify, I don't want the sisters to feel like we're trying to single them out, as if to say it's only women who lure a guy in. At the end of the day, guys are a huge problem when it comes to this, and I think inshallah the next episode should be just on this very concept about guys who are now playing girls, okay? But as I say, no matter how thin you slice the bread, there's always going to be two sides.
Two sides, sir.
So there's always two sides that are to blame. Do you understand? So I want to talk about this from that angle where the blame is on the sister now. And don't worry, we're going to talk about the brothers and the blame being on the brothers in the next episode, inshallah ta'ala. My sisters, you need to be very conscious of something. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned to us that the greatest fitna, the greatest trial, the greatest test that he left behind for this ummah, for this nation, was the women. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, خُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. The human being was created weak. He was created weak. And one of the weaknesses of the male human is the woman. Like, look how deep it is. Men have gone to war in history, akhi. They have taken entire armies to war over women.
Yes, subhanAllah.
Look at this book that was written called the Iliad. I don't advise anyone to study it, but sadly, when I was not practicing and I was in year 9, we had a class called Classical Civilization, classic, and we had to study this classical Greek mythological text. So the Iliad is a book that we had to study, where there's the battle between the Greeks and the Trojans, right? And there's the Helen of Troy, who was actually from Greece, but she was, like, imagine actually this woman, Helen, because of her, an entire war for 10 years started. Now, and the thing is that it's true, the story, when you read the book, it's got a lot of false stuff in there, in the sense where they're talking about the Greek gods and Zeus and, and all this kind of madness.
Yeah.
But the point is that historically there is truth behind this, that there was a woman called Helen of Troy. This is what we're taught. There was a woman called Helen of Troy, and because of her, a war did start. And there's many other examples of this, that men have gone to war to show you that the power that the woman's law can have, that she can take men, to war with her, to war for her.
SubhanAllah.
So the point here is that, with great power comes great responsibility. As Uncle Ben said. I don't watch movies. Again, this is just from Jahiliyyah.
He's Uncle Ben, the rice guy.
No, bro, Uncle... That is Uncle Ben as well. I'm an Uncle Ben for Spider-Man. Astaghfirullah. That was one neaky element of my childhood. I used to be into comics, innit?
Yeah.
But we left that behind.
Alhamdulillah.
But generally, movies haram. But the point is, I'm trying to relate. So Uncle Ben, obviously, he told Spider-Man, he said, look, when Spider-Man had these powers, he said to him, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Understand? So the sisters have a great power, and the power to basically have a man like putty in her hands. And Allah affirmed this for her in the Quran. In Surah Yusuf, the woman who wanted to tempt Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. What did Allah tell us about her in the Quran? He said, Inna kaydi kunna azim. That verily the plotting of the women is strong.
Not even strong.
Azim.
is great.
Azim is one of the names of Allah.
Mm.
Al-Azim. The strong, the mighty.
Yeah.
So imagine if someone intelligent says, oh, he's intelligent. You understand?
Yeah.
Al-Azim is saying that the plotting of a woman is Azim. It's strong. You understand? And when it comes to shaitan, what did Allah say?
He's
إِنَّ
da'if.
كَيْدَ الشَّيْطَانِ كَانَ ضَعِيفًا. The plotting of shaitan is weak, but the plotting of a woman, if she plots, of course, yeah? Because I'm not saying all women plot, but if she plots, it's mighty. So with that said, now you know that you have the power, that Allah's given this ability to you to basically have men under control, man. You can make a righteous guy flip. Now I'm not saying that he's blameless for flipping.
No, sir.
He's blameless for flipping. But the point is that is the extent to which a woman is dangerous. Her plot is dangerous, sorry. You know, Ata ibn Abi Rabah, I think it was him. He used to say, he said, I'm an 80-year-old man. Or something like that. He's like, and I am scared for myself to be alone with a woman.
Subhanallah.
He was a student of Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma. You understand?
Subhanallah.
Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah used to say, even like, I'm scared for myself. And he was an old man. To show you that you have to understand, with men, you have to understand the desire for a woman is literally visual. With women, I know sisters don't understand. You know, women are like, why are you getting at sisters for wearing makeup? Men should lower their gaze. And it's true, they should lower their gaze.
Yeah.
But I don't think women understand. All a man needs to get aroused is
to look at you.
Is to look at you. That's literally how deep it is. I'm telling you as a guy. You understand? So there's a few more points I want to make, but I don't want to do the show. So
no, it's even like, you know what you were saying, about when sort of sisters say, oh, the men should lower their gaze and whatnot. In sort of everything that comes about, it's like the two sides have to play their part, because if they don't, the other side's gonna flip. So if the sister doesn't understand how mighty she has of a power of lowering men, not saying that she's doing it intentionally or whatnot, but that the man's gonna fall at her feet almost due to, his weakness, that the woman is what the man desires, and you're coming at him, you're trying to slide in his DMs or you're trying to chat to him, and it may not even start off as something that, like you're intending anything bad, but you need to understand, like, it's like if you don't understand who you are, you don't know your limits kind of thing. Do you understand? So if you know who you are, you know the limits that you are set around other people, and that's sort of where it is. Like, I don't think a lot of young Muslims or Muslims in general understand the sort of ability they have as a Muslim. For example, the father, he won't understand, or the man, he won't understand that he has big responsibilities to have to look after his family. Okay, and if you don't know that big responsibility you have, you're not going to fulfill that duty. At the same time, the woman has such a duty to, serve and look after and educate. And if she doesn't know the ability that she has, she won't be able to fulfill that, the responsibility to the best of her ability. So now, if you knew that you have, and Allah's told you that your plotting is strong, if you were to plot, then you need to know how to control that now, and you need to know that you have that, ability in the first place. That's why we're trying to bring that to your attention as well. Actually, something happened over sort of a couple months back to me, and I was like amazed, because one sister, she basically she asked me for advice on something, and I gave her the advice on it. And then she sent a message to this group chat that the sisters have. And she sent a screenshot.
On Instagram?
Yeah. What, the group chat?
Yeah.
No, I think the group.
No.
Yeah, on Insta, yeah. And then it was something like, she was trying to say, oh yeah, this guy is the guy I want to marry, or blah,
She
blah,
wanted
blah.
to marry you?
Yeah, or something like that, innit? And then she goes, oh, I'm going to try get to know him, I'm going to try talk to him, I'm going to try learn. Yeah, exactly. So one sister saw that and she was like, whoa, that's a bit peak. I have to send Strides this and let him to be careful.
So she
sent it to me, and she was like, bro, be careful, innit? Like, sisters are trying to get at you. And I was just thinking, like, okay, subhanAllah, like, first and foremost, if you're interested, why don't you just go ahead with it in the right way? That's the first thing that came to mind. Secondly, I'm thinking, wow. Because a lot of the times, brothers get blamed for trying to chirp sisters, but sisters don't understand. If you go and chirp a boy, you're going to have much more of an effect than when this boy comes and chirps you.
Oh, that's true.
Because, like, speaking in a general matter, sisters don't care about the brother. Like, bro, you're just another guy. Like, what you got to offer me? If a sister comes to a brother now, it's like, oh, okay.
No, it's true.
She's coming to me. She must feel me. And that's how brothers think. Well, I'd be like, if a sister comes to you first, you think she's got something for you. And it's like, the brother starts thinking, oh, yeah, like, she's feeling me. But the sister doesn't feel like anything. She's just trying to pass time or whatever it is that she's trying to do. And that kind of shocked me to not only say that sisters, like, what are you trying to do? But brothers, be careful. Because not only is it you that goes out and does it, but sisters can do the same thing. And I think that's one thing that's looked down upon a lot, that we grill the brothers so much for playing on sisters and playing games with sisters, but it's become a thing where now sisters are trying to do the same thing. And you gotta be like, look, at the end of the day, we have to play our roles, but you have to play the same role. Like this example that you used before, that, you know, sisters come and say, oh, but the brother should lower his gaze. Mm-hmm. Okay, but what if he accidentally doesn't lower his gaze and you're not covered properly?
That's it, that sparks it.
That's all it takes. Boom.
That's like for me. Like, do you think man's not lowering his gaze? Like when I'm on a train, or which I hardly go because of this very reason.
Yeah.
Like you might go on a train and accidentally see something. You lower your gaze straight away, but that's a certain spark now.
And even that, look, like if I'm driving or whatever, yeah, or if I'm in a car, whatever it may be in it. Like I remember when I was taking my driving lessons, yeah, it was a thing whereby you can't lower your gaze when you're driving because you're gonna crash.
No,
you're gonna crash. So like, out of necessity, you gotta now, subhanAllah, you gotta look forward, and you're just seeing bare fitna, akhi.
Yeah.
And it's like, there has to be a prevention on the other side now, because if you're not preventing the other side, then it's peak. And there's so many other avenues, like if a sister walks past in perfume, oh, his brother's gonna smell it, what's he gonna do, block his nose? Do you understand? So it can go on and on.
That's why the warnings to the women were very severe on these issues. Like, you know, fornication, to have, you know, illegal sexual intercourse outside of marriage. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's something interesting in Surah An-Nur. Allah says, "Az-zaniyatu waz-zani." Az-zaniyatu waz-zani, the fornicating woman, and the fornicating woman, and the fornicating man. Allah says, "Fajlidu," whip.
Subhanallah.
Whip. Yeah? But you know what's interesting here? Is that when it came to fornication, who did Allah mention first?
The woman.
The woman. Now that doesn't mean that the woman is going to be getting punished more than the guy. No. Of course, this only happens with a court and a judge in an Islamic state. I don't want anyone to go start whipping anyone. The point is that this obviously, you know, it's an equal punishment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Az-zaniyatu waz-zani fajlidu." Whip them, you got to whip them both. All of them. Whether it's a guy or it's a girl. But why did Allah mention the woman first? And you know what's even more interesting is that generally speaking, the Quran, Allah, He doesn't mention the woman first.
He mentioned the man.
وَالْمُسْلِمِينَ وَالْمُسْلِمَاتِ وَالْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ, the submitting, the Muslim men, the Muslim women, the believing men, the believing women. وَقَانِتِينَ وَالْقَانِتَاتِ وَالصَّادِقِينَ وَالصَّادِقَاتِ. Allah, He mentions the truthful men and the truthful women. The theme of the Quran, generally speaking, that Allah, the way He mentions the men and the women. Okay? But why here did Allah change the pattern? Akhi, when you ponder and you reflect, the woman, akhi, is the door to the zina.
SubhanAllah.
The man can try and chirp her, text her, DM her, message her, all he wants. But if I'm being crude, akhi, it's her that's going to basically open up her body for him, innit? If she closes her feet and her thighs, no man's going to be able to enter her. It's her that opens the thighs for him. Unless he rapes her. And that's a different story. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So sisters, at the end of the day, the point is that the deed is done by both. So both are going to get punished now.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
who was the one who opened the door? Do you understand? And who was the one who gave the invitation? Wearing that sweet perfume, that's the invitation. That's why, look how severe it is. The Prophet ﷺ said that a woman who goes out there wearing perfume for the other men to smell, he says she's a fornicatress. She's a woman who has sex with men, basically. She's a loose woman, in other words. She's a loose woman. She's hoish, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah,
you understand? She's moving like a skit, basically.
That's exactly it.
Just by wearing perfume.
So now what?
But now, exactly. So min bab al-awla, what that means is now. Then what about what about she's wearing makeup? Makeup is more of a fitna than perfume. What about now? What she's wearing crop tops, tight tops, leggings, this, that. You don't understand?
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's game over. And you know, it annoys me because really and truly, my motivation for making this video was because lately there's been a few good brothers, man, and they're at fault and they're wrong when they slipped up. But they've been slipping up because the girls have been crazy hollering at them. I know like some handsome brothers who are online, man, like proper handsome, good looking brothers, Allahumma barik. And to be honest, it's true, they shouldn't be putting up pictures of themselves. They shouldn't be putting up, pictures of themselves without this, that and the other. But you got girls out there who are going crazy in the comments, sending love hearts. Oh, I've got sisters in hijabs and you're so sexy. Oh, you look so scrumptious, you look so yummy. And then she's going into his DMs and you got this one guy
who's got
just got like
much
100 girls messaging him. One out of those 100 girls is gonna make his day.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So I think is the timer up?
Yeah, it's gone to about 12, 14 minutes, 15 minutes. I know.
Should we wrap up the
yeah, let's wrap it up. So, sisters, just as a conclusion, we're not trying to get at you. We're just trying to bring you to the light of, that subhanallah, how brothers can fool at you with very easy. Like it's easy for you to get a brother. So just understand that and be cautious, like when you're going around and how you're dealing with people and whatnot. So yeah, any mistakes that me and the brother made is from us and shaitan. Allah and his messenger are free from it, and any benefit you could have taken is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And until the next episode.
If I can just add, just to let you guys know, there's a new program that we have called the Knowledge College, which is an online program where you guys can study deen. If you don't want to start seeking knowledge, start studying religion, understand what Islam is about so you can grow, bearing in mind that the first responsibility that a person has in this religion is to have knowledge of this religion, to have knowledge of La ilaha illallah, which is the foundation of this religion. So if you go to the link below, hopefully you can sign up, join us on the other side, and we can grow on this journey of seeking knowledge. Or you can get more information from the link anyway. Till then, next week we're going to make the boys, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.